the 7th of October 1957. 11:45 a.m. The 9th annealing cycle begins. The procedure is familiar. Reduce the airflow. Let the reactor heat up. Monitor the thermocouples. When the temperature reaches 250 degrees Celsius, hold it steady. Then slowly reintroduce cooling air. They have done this 8 times before. Each time, it worked. Each time, the Wigner energy released smoothly. The graphite relaxed. The reactor returned to normal. But this time is different. The problem is immediate. The thermocouples are not reading consistently. Some channels are hot, some are cold. The operators adjust the airflow. Nothing works. Channel 2053 is rising faster than any other. 250 degrees, 300, 350, 400. The operators are confused. The reactor should be cooling. Why is one channel getting hotter? They cannot see inside. There are no cameras, no visual inspection ports. The uranium cartridge in channel 2053 has not just burst. It is burning, and every second of cooling air is feeding the flames. The 8th of October. The second attempt. The operators try again. They adjust the airflow more aggressively. They wait longer. Eventually, most of the core reaches 250 degrees. The thermocouples show a satisfactory plateau. They believe the annealing has succeeded. They are wrong. The 10th of October, 4:30 p.m. Tom Tuohy is not supposed to be here. His shift ended hours ago. But something pulled him back. Instinct. Unease. He walks past pile 1 and looks up. Smoke is pouring from the chimney. What happened inside channel 2053? Decades later, the official inquiry pieced it together. During the annealing cycle, a uranium cartridge already weakened by years of irradiation, ruptured. Exposed uranium metal, heated to over 400 degrees, oxidized rapidly in the stream of cooling air. The oxidation reaction is exothermic. It produces heat. More heat caused more oxidation. More oxidation caused more heat. A positive feedback loop, spiraling out of control. By the time Tuohy spotted the smoke, the uranium was burning at over 1,300 degrees Celsius. The aluminium casing had melted. Fission products were vaporizing and escaping into the cooling air. Iodine, cesium, strontium, polonium, the graphite surrounding the channel was beginning to burn, and the fire was spreading. The first response, carbon dioxide. The operators wheel CO bottles to the charge face. They blast the channel with inert gas, hoping to smother the fire. The temperature keeps rising. They try again. More CO. Longer blasts. Nothing. The fire is in an open channel. Thousands of cubic meters of air rush past it every second. The CO is diluted almost instantly. The fire never even notices. The second response, push the cartridge out. Each fuel channel runs the entire length of the reactor core. At the front, the charge face. At the back, the discharge face. Spent cartridges are pushed out the back and fall into a water-filled skip. The operators insert a fresh cartridge behind the burning one. They use a long metal rod to shove the entire column forward. The burning cartridge moves a few inches. Then it jams. The heat has warped the aluminium casing. The channel is blocked. 6 p.m. The fire is spreading. The heat from channel 2053 radiates into the surrounding graphite. Adjacent channels begin to overheat. The fire is no longer a single point. It is a growing zone of incandescent destruction. The operators realize they are losing control. 7 p.m. Tuohy makes his first inspection. He puts on a respirator. Thin cotton overalls. Nothing that would stop gamma radiation. He walks to the charge face. He pulls out an inspection plug. He puts his eye to the opening and looks inside. The channel is glowing bright orange, like the inside of a furnace. Like the open door of a coal fire on a winter night. He has never seen anything like it. No one has. No one ever expected to. He closes the plug and begins to think. 8 p.m. The unthinkable option. Water. Every textbook, every training manual, every safety briefing agrees. Never put water on a graphite fire. The graphite is hot enough to split water into hydrogen and oxygen. The hydrogen will ignite. The oxygen will feed the fire. The steam expansion could rupture the reactor vessel. The entire building could become a bomb. But the carbon dioxide is not working. The push rods are not working. The fire is spreading, and the filters cannot absorb radioactive particles forever. Tuohy makes the call. We use water. 8:15 p.m. The first hose. Firefighters drag a hose to the charged face. They connect it to a water supply. They aim the nozzle at the open inspection port and squeeze the trigger. A jet of water disappears into the glowing core. The temperature gauge wavers. Then it drops. Just a few degrees, but it drops. It worked. 9 p.m. Tuohy goes to the roof. The charge face is not the only way to deliver water. The top of the reactor has small access points directly above the core. If he can get water in from above, he can flood the burning zone more effectively. But the roof is the most radioactive place in the building. The chimney is directly above, spewing unfiltered smoke and vapor. The radiation levels are unknown. The instruments have already maxed out. Tuohy climbs the ladder anyway. He spends the next several hours on that roof, directing a fire hose down into the heart of the inferno. He works in near darkness, illuminated only by the glow of the fire below and the occasional flash of his torch. No dosimeter, no radiation suit, no idea how much poison he is absorbing. He only knows that if he stops, the fire will not. The 11th of October, 4 a.m., the temperature is falling. Slowly, painfully, unmistakably. 400 degrees, 350, 300. The fire is not out, but it is no longer growing. The water is reaching the hot spots. The graphite is cooling. By dawn, the crisis has passed. The 11th of October. Later that morning, Tuohy descends from the roof, exhausted, his clothes soaked, his hands blistered from gripping the hose. He has been on his feet for nearly 24 hours. He does not go to hospital. He does not demand recognition. He does not even tell his family what he has done. He goes home. He sleeps. He returns to work the next day. He will not speak publicly about that night for 30 years. The aftermath. The official inquiry. The government launches an investigation. In secret, the witnesses are sworn to silence. The evidence is classified. The final report is stamped secret and locked away. The conclusion, when it finally emerges decades later, is carefully crafted to protect the institutions and condemn the individuals. The fire was caused by an error of judgment by the operators. The annealing procedure was insufficiently controlled. The workers who first raised concerns about burst cartridges and Wigner energy are not mentioned. The men who risked their lives to put out the fire are not praised. They are scapegoated. Tom Tuohy is not fired. He is not demoted. He is simply erased. His name removed from official records. His heroism never acknowledged. He is told to keep quiet. He does. For 30 years. The cost, the health effects. The radioactive cloud drifted southeast across England and Wales. It settled on pasture land. Cows ate the contaminated grass. Their milk became contaminated. Thousands of children drank that milk. The government knew within days. Milk samples across the country showed elevated levels of radioactivity. The response was swift, efficient, and secret. Milk from affected areas was quietly diverted to processing plants, diluted with uncontaminated milk, and sold to unsuspecting consumers. No public announcement. No health warnings. No one was told their children were drinking radioactive iodine. The official estimate of additional cancer deaths from Windscale is approximately 240. Some researchers say higher, some say lower. What is not disputed is this. The government chose secrecy over transparency, and thousands of families paid the price with their health. The cover-up, 50 years of silence. The Windscale inquiry report was classified in 1957. It remained classified for 3 decades. When it was finally declassified in 1988, the British public learned the truth for the first time. They learned about the rushed construction, the ignored warnings, the political pressure to produce plutonium, the fire that burned for 3 days, the men who fought it with CO and push rods and, ultimately, water. And they learned that their own government had lied to them. The official history of the British nuclear program, published in 1974, devoted exactly 1 paragraph to Windscale. It described the fire as a minor incident that was quickly brought under control. It did not mention the radiation release. It did not mention the milk contamination. It did not mention the cover-up. This was not incompetence. This was policy. In Part 4, the heroes. The men who raised their hands in meetings and were ignored. The men who insisted on filters and were mocked. The men who stood on the roof and the men who aimed the hoses. The men who cleaned up the radioactive aftermath and then disappeared into history. You will meet Terence Price, who asked the question no one wanted to answer. You will meet Sir John Cockcroft, whose follies saved a nation. You will meet the operators and firefighters who walked into the inferno and asked for nothing in return. And you will understand why some heroes are never celebrated.